Hello everyone, I'm Xie Jingxian, a pianist and an associate professor at the Shanghai Conservatory of Music, Piano Department. If you hear the name 100 Birds Pay Homage to the Phoenix, you might wonder, why would all birds pay homage to the phoenix? Is there a story behind it? Indeed, 100 Birds Paying Homage to the Phoenix is built upon such a myth. When the forest suffered a drought, the phoenix shared all its stored nuts and food with the other birds. To repay the phoenix, each bird plucked the most beautiful feather from its own body and represented it to the phoenix, thereafter honoring it as the king of all birds. So in Chinese mythology, the phoenix is the king of all birds, symbolizing auspiciousness, nobility, and harmony. The classic folk piece, 100 Birds Paying Homage to the Phoenix, depicts a scene where all birds gather to pay homage to the phoenix, celebrating reverence, order, and the harmony of nature. The harmonies in this piece are not complex, yet it's filled with jubilant energy. A good story never needs ornate language. Today, let's explore together how the piano paints this magnificent 100 birds tapestry. This music was originally one of the representative pieces for the suona, a traditional Chinese wind instrument from northern China. It is said that this piece of music originated in the Ming Dynasty. The suona, with its bright and piercing tone, is often featured in celebrations, weddings, and even funerals, full of life and expressiveness. In the original suona version, the performer skillfully used breath control and fingering to imitate the calls of various birds like cuckoos, cicadas, and so on, creating a lively scene of a forest alive with birdsong. In 1973, Wang Jian-Zhong, former vice president of the Shanghai Conservatory of Music and a renowned composer, adapted this folk-inspired 100 Birds Pay Homage to the Phoenix for piano. Mr. Wang Jian-Zhong is a key figure in Chinese piano music composition and adaptation. Many of his works, such as Liuyang River, Red Flowers Blooming All Over the Mountains, and Colorful Cloud Chasing the Moon, blend Chinese folk melodies with piano language, bringing new life to traditional Chinese music. The piano version of 100 Birds Pay Homage to the Phoenix not only retains the vivid bird imitation and the festive folk atmosphere of the original, but also uses rich harmonies, agile ornaments, and the tonal variations to create a soundscape on the piano that rivals the suona. It is both a tribute to traditional Chinese music expression and a creative dialogue between the expressive capabilities of Chinese and Western instruments. To perform this piece well on the piano, the key lies in the following. First, combining imitation with musicality. The bird call sections require flexible use of techniques like trills, grace notes, and rapid notes groups to vividly mimic different birds while maintaining the overall flow and artistic conception of the music. Second, agile and elastic rhythm. The unique rhythmic cadence and sense of improvisation in folk music need to be expressed through rubato and dynamic variation, avoiding mechanical regularity. Third, layered tone and contrast. While the piano doesn't have the tonal variations of the suona, it can differentiate between bird calls near and far, the lightness of wind through the trees, and the brilliance of all birds singing together through touch, depth, and careful use of the pedal. Fourth, maintaining coherent flow. Although the piece is made up of multiple bird call sections interwoven with thematic passage, it is important to preserve the internal structure and emotion tension of the music development, forming a complete and vivid soundscape. Avoid playing it in a fragmented way. Okay, now let's find out some bird calls on the piano. And we should make it as interesting as possible compared to suona's bird calls. So let's explore together. First, let's guess. What bird is this? And then you will hear and then what about here? What this one here? Okay, I leave the question to you. You will find your own answer. Okay, let's start with the piece from the beginning. I think I have already mentioned before, when we play a Chinese piece, we should give up thinking about to play it in a very precise way, because in Chinese music, there's quite a lot of rubato that you can make. But how can we make the rubato correctly? I think you should first to listen to the suona version. So at the beginning, if we play it in a very precise, accurate way, we will play like this. Don't you think this piece lost the vivid emotion and atmosphere if we play like this? So now if we change it the other way, isn't it interesting? I think if we play the piece, we should really find a story when we combined with playing the piece. I would suggest if you can write a little article about each part, I think you will find the way of interpreting it more interesting. First, for me, my version would be, at the beginning, it sounds like a very, calm forest. All the birds are waking up and they're starting to fly away. And then you can hear some single bird, they're singing here and there. The birds are not gathering together so far. Through the development of the music, you can feel that, give it the imagination that the forest is getting more crowded. And the birds, no matter they're big or small or far or near, they are all coming together and they're gathering together. So the sound, you can give a little contrast. Or they are kind of talking to each other, like, okay, why we are doing here? We are going to pay homage to the phoenix. So they're like speaking around. Okay, so I think the whole piece, the difficulty of the piece is in the middle part. Because the hand alternations, we have to practice really slowly. So we have to really think about if we're playing a very fast tempo, how busy my hands will be. So a slower practice is needed. Okay. Okay, through different birds singing, and we slowly till the end. When we play it, it reminds me, and how to say, the phoenix. The phoenix is very noble in the Chinese culture. It represents the joy, the nobility, and very pride. So at the end, it represents the scene of the phoenix showing up. It is an image of very, very noble and very beautiful and very joying. So if we play it, this part, we should really make ourselves as if we were a phoenix. So it's very, okay, let me try. At the end, 100 birds, they're gathering together and then they fly away after the whole ceremony. So I would suggest if you really need to learn the piece, we have to pay attention to some technical challenges. Besides the one I said before, the hand alternation, and also when we need to imitate the suona blowing technique. So we need to think about how we use it on the piano. For example, I would suggest to use a little bit more rest to make it the sound more round. Otherwise, if you only use the fingertips, the sound will be more sharp and piercing. Well, I think this is a story everyone loves it, and I'm sure that if you going to learn the piece, you will have a lot of fun with that piece. And I also look forward to listen to your interpretation of 100 Birds Paying Homage to the Phoenix. 100 Birds Paying Homage to the Phoenix is not just a piece showcasing imitation techniques. It also carries the Chinese people's delicate observation of nature, their longing for harmony, and the vibrant joy of life found in folk art. The birds of the piano version allows this to transcend the boundaries of instruments and culture, flying to a broader world. The journey of 100 Birds Pay Homage to the Phoenix from a folk suona piece to a piano classic is a vivid example of Chinese musicians being rooted in tradition while daring to innovate. It shows us that true national art is both an echo from deep within our heritage and an open voice that can resonate with the world. May this melody for bird singing in harmony not only inspire our praise for nature and life, but also convey the spirit of harmonious coexistence and enduring vitality within Chinese culture.